Good morning. My name is Jason Mathis. I'm the Executive Director of the Downtown Alliance. We are delighted to be here this morning, delighted to reach this important point with the 6970 competition. I'm delighted to have two of my favorite all-time political leaders joining us here for the big reveal to find out who the winners are for the competition today. We started this competition and started talking about this competition 2 years ago, more than 2 years ago. It really was the brainchild of Greg Walker, who is the chair of the Young Architects Forum with the AIA, and Geraldine Dreyfus, who were really the driving forces behind it. The Downtown Alliance was delighted to partner with them to talk about this and really start thinking about new ideas for our city center, new ideas for these two critical blocks in the heart of our downtown area. If you think about downtown Salt Lake City, we have the historic center with Temple Square. The next 2 blocks over with City Creek Center really are a retail heart for our city. And the next 2 blocks with the Utah Performing Arts Center, the Capitol Theater, the Utah Theater, and the myriad of other activities that happen in those 2 blocks really can become this wonderful cultural core. And we wanted to think about how do we create connectivity of all the many activities that are going on in these blocks. And that was really the genesis behind the 6970 Urban Ideas Competition. It's important that we do this right now, that we continue the momentum that has been generated in our downtown. Downtown truly is rising, and it's a very, very exciting time for our community. We want to keep that momentum going as we continue to build a bright future that really creates this capital city that is what the people of Utah deserve, a wonderful, exciting capital city. I'm going to turn some time over to Mayor Becker now, who's going to talk about 6970 area, and then he'll be followed by Councilman and RDA Chair Stan Penfold. Mayor.
Jason, thank you, and welcome everyone to a beautiful spring day. It's still spring, we're holding on to it as long as we can, and to really one of the more exciting things that we have going on in downtown Salt Lake City. As Jason described, this part of Salt Lake City, of downtown Salt Lake City, is really the geographic core of Salt Lake, and very much the cultural and activity core in terms particularly of its potential. The 6970 blocks, which are between First South and Second South, between West Temple and State Street, are where we have historically and today had a number of our cultural amenities. It's obviously right in the middle of downtown as well. And we are in the process of major changes. The Utah Theater, which was acquired by Salt Lake City, the redevelopment agency of Salt Lake City, is ripe for redevelopment. We, of course, have the Performing Arts Center, which is in final design as we speak and will begin construction before the end of the year on these blocks. We've got the Capitol Theater, which is a wonderful, of course, wonderful historic theater and home to Ballet West and the Opera, and is really literally on the precipice of undergoing a major renovation and restoration. And we have a number of developments, other developments planned in conjunction with what's been happening and is happening on this block. But what the 6970 project really gives us an ability to do is to take this great, creative, innovative energy from people not just in the city but from all over the world through this design competition to give us the best ideas of how we can make this the energetic core of downtown and of Salt Lake City. So I'm very excited to have been part of this process. I'm particularly excited to see us unveil today, and it'll be an unveiling for me as well, of the design competition winners, which were decided by jury. So I appreciate all the great work that's been done by so many people to make this day possible and to really give us the catalyst going forward for the core of downtown Salt Lake. Stan Penfold.
Thank you, Mayor. As the chair of the RDA board, I'm really excited to have been a part of this process. We had some incredible ideas that were shared. And actually, this was kind of a tough jury process. We spent an entire day looking at all the submissions, and the quality was impressive. And it was tough to come up with what we considered some of the best examples for for ideas that we're trying to incorporate into our city. What I realized in this process is how invested people are in making sure that downtown is active and vibrant and interesting and truly recognized as the center of our state and the center of our capital city. Molly is here. Wave your hand, Molly. Molly and I were on the jury, and with many other very qualified people. We spent a day looking at all of the ideas and presentations. It was a really diverse group of entries, architects and urban planners and elected officials, and all served on the jury. But we all looked at this process as something we could unify behind in trying to encourage great ideas for our downtown. We chose these particular entries, I think, because they really, for all of us, captured the ideas and the vitality and the significance of what could happen in the very core of our capital city. So it was a pleasure to do this.
Excellent. Before the big reveal, just a couple of stats that you may be interested in. There were over 200 entries from 48 countries, architects, urban planners, urban designers, and students, and 27,000 people visited the website. 22,000 voted on the People's Choice Award. So this really is a community-driven event, a community-driven competition. We really do care about our city and about our community. I also wanted to mention briefly the project sponsors, the LDS Church Foundation, Zions Bank, the Sam and Diane Stewart Family Foundation, and much of the funding came from the Redevelopment Agency of Salt Lake City. The project leadership included Mara Carabello from the Exoro Group, Jesse Dean, who works with me at the Downtown Alliance, Geraldine Dreyfus, the founder of the Utah Film Center, Nicole, the lovely and talented Nicole Dunn, who's here with us today from Salt Lake County, the Deputy Mayor of Salt Lake County, Luke Garrett, a Salt Lake City Council member, Helen Langen, Senior Advisor to Mayor Becker, Aaron Litvak, Director of Salt Lake County Community Services, Stacy Rosenblatt with CSAC, an artist and alumni of MoMA and PS1, and of course the talented and effervescent Greg Walker, whose drive and determination really have made this project happen. So with that, we will begin the first award. Stan Penfold will unveil the award. This is a jury award, and it is the Inner Circuit at AK Studio in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Clapping is appropriate. Very good. This is an interactive light installations catalyzing a new performing arts district by introducing spectacle and intimacy into the interior spaces of blocks 69 and 70. The Inner Circuit imagines the potential outcomes of these flexible installations as alleyways, lots, and garages become shared public galleries and combine to link the new cultural destinations. So that was one of the jury awards. We want to move on to the next award. This is also a jury award. This is the Urban Art Lab in Salt Lake City, Utah, local design team. Team members were George Rugemer, and I apologize if I mispronounced that, Charlotte Grube, Jeremy Bringard, and Branson Brinton. The Urban Art Lab. Salt Lake City is an urban cluster that consists of installations, art interventions, and new public spaces within the block 6970 and beyond. Publicly driven guerrilla art installations, art containers, events, installations, and activities take over abandoned and underutilized spaces and transform them into usable public spaces to improve the quality of downtown. And finally, the last award. This is the People's Choice Award. And this is the Olympic Games to Urban Games by PKMN Architects from Madrid, Spain. Team members were Carmelo Rodriguez Cedillo, Enrique Espinoza Perez, Rocio Pina Isa, David Perez Garcia, Ana Arana Fernandez de Gambona, and Alia Sabre. And I really apologize for my dreadful Spanish pronunciation. With a nod to Salt Lake City's 2002 Olympic legacy, the Olympic Games to Urban Games project relies on citizenship empowerment to launch real life into the spaces between Block 69 and 70. The games are designed as processes that take into account all of the parameters that configure urban dynamics through human interaction and educational, emotional, and communitarian strategies to make this central nucleus a key aspect of a lively Salt Lake City. So with that, I think we should give a round of applause to the 3 winning entries. Each will receive a $40,000 check. Say that louder, Linda. Oh, the Salt Lake team is here. A huge round of applause for the Salt Lake team, and I apologize for any mispronunciations. Well done. So as we're talking about next steps for this project, we have a lot of ideas. We're interested in possibly creating a cultural trust that could help to manage some of these dynamic, interesting aspects of what we're doing in our downtown. I think each of these also really underscores some important points. One is the importance of involving the community and thinking about things in different ways and bringing in a community aesthetic and a community vision to our downtown area. And I think that for me, that's probably the most exciting thing about this competition, is really seeing people getting excited about what we have in our downtown, that it extends far beyond just the inner core of the city, but really this is the downtown that belongs to everyone. And it's been great to see people not just in Salt Lake City, but around the state embrace their downtown, and through this competition, really people from around the world excited about what's happening in downtown Salt Lake City. So with that, we will have a few moments for one-on-one interviews and questions, and again, congratulations to all of the fantastic winners. We're just delighted with these great entries, and to everyone who participated. Thank you so much for your ideas and thoughts.